Hello, welcome to today's edition of Pegasus Test. On today's edition, we're covering the Fairfax Rod and Gun Club's 2-Gun Action Challenge match of November 2021. Let's get into the first stage. Alright, this stage was called Corners. What were you supposed to do? And that's going to be important. Well, you were supposed to stand there with a 40-pound kettlebell in your hand and dash up to one of the start positions. You had one on the left, one on the right, and you fired at the opposite corner steel IPSCs, which are roughly about half-size IPSCs, and you fired at them, had to get 2 hits, one on each. Then you moved to the center position and you had a Texas Star, but you only hit 1 plate on the star. Then you moved to the opposite position and engaged the 2 static IPSCs half-size across the bay, so diagonally across the bay from you. And you repeated that back and forth like a typewriter till you had knocked all the plates off the Texas Star. That's what was supposed to happen. And then the good idea fairy got involved, for me. Because I'm standing there and having recently just returned from Finnish Brutality, a lot of people were asking questions. And someone, I believe it was the RO, said, like, how would Jari make this suck over in Finland? And then the idea came up, well, we'd have to throw the kettlebell, not just carry it. And a quick review of the rules found that you only had to have the kettlebell with you at each shooting position. You didn't have to have it in hand. You could set it down if you wanted. And it didn't say you couldn't throw it. So at the start of the buzzer, that's what I did. Let's take a look at my run.
Are you ready?
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Stand by. Watch your muzzle. Finish, unload, and show clear.
Alright, that was my run. Surprisingly, did alright time-wise and was not the worst run by any stretch of the imagination, which was kind of surprising. But it was fun for sure. Another fun fact, didn't quite get the first momentum on the kettlebell that I thought, so my throw didn't go nearly as far as I thought it would. I think I actually got farther throws with a heavier kettlebell over in Finland. But got to the first position, engaged the static targets, then threw the kettlebell to the next position, engaged the star, got the hit, threw the kettlebell to the next position, engaged the static targets, and did that until I hit all the plates on the Texas Star. And it was fun, it was a blast, it was great to do. Do I think my time would have been better if I'd have A, just held on to the kettlebell and shot strong hand only, or B, ran up, put the bell down, did a proper two-handed shot, and then kept doing that back and forth? Yeah, probably. Drastically better? That I'm not so sure. Okay, now in this stage you started out at your starting position. You had a target array in front of you of 2 static IPSC steel targets painted white and black, 2 on each side of the bay. You had the Texas Star, which in this iteration, unlike stage 1 where it was all white plates, you had 1 red plate, which was a no-shoot, 2 black plates, 2 white plates. And color-coded, you could only shoot the colors of the chip that you drew. In addition, for targets, you had 6 Duraballs that had to be engaged. So from the start buzzer, from any shooting position, standing, sitting, prone, didn't matter. You engaged the 2 steels on either side, only the color that you drew, and then you knocked over the 6 Duraballs. Then you showed clear with your weapon, dashed forward to the next shooting position, cleared the Texas Star, but only of the 2 colors, or the 2 colors of your chip. So if you had a white, you got white. You had a black, you got the blacks. You didn't hit the red. And then you dashed over to one side, engaged only the colored target in front of you that matched your chip, and then dashed to the opposite side of the bay, do the exact same thing, and then it's over for you on that stage. Let's go ahead and take a look at my run.
I am. Stand by.
Yes. Holy shit, you're high. Just below.
High.
You're high.
I am aiming at the bottom of the fucking...
There you go.
Well, then aim bottomer. Hit. Clear. Make sure that goes with it.
Okay, at this point, it's probably worth mentioning the weapon I was using on this stage. Stage 1 was a pistol only, and that was pretty straightforward stuff, nothing special going on there. But my rifle was a little bit different than normal. I was using an LSW, a light support weapon. These are types of weapons that the One Shepherd organization uses as machine gun simulations, and it's an M16 style weapon, AR-15, 20-inch heavy barrel with an M60 bipod on it. The ones that One Shepherd used for LSW operations have binary triggers. Mine did not. It just has a very nice SLT match trigger from KE Arms, which still enables you to put out a pretty good volume of fire. So I employed it as a light support weapon or light machine gun. And so when the buzzer went off, quickly got my 2 hits on the white target. I drew the white chip. Got the one on the other side, came quick. And on the left side, the 3 Duraballs there went down fairly quick. Boom, 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 boom. Moved off 1 too quick, went back, collected it. And then, I don't know what happened. I went over to 3 balls on the right and launched a magazine and a half at them before they went down. Why, I do not know. I was putting the dot on it. Now, to be fair, at the range, which I think was about 50 meters, the dot in my ACOG was about the same size as the dot of the balls. So that probably just a slight sight misalignment there, because everybody, all the spectators were yelling at me, "You're high, you're high." No matter where I seemed to want to put the sight, I was high. But they tell me my accuracy was impeccable. I kept putting all the bullets in the exact same hole, just too high. Eventually, just through sheer volume of fire, I cut down the balls, and I was able to advance forward to the pistol portion. When I got up there, the hits came quick, not quick enough, in my opinion, but they came pretty quickly and pretty readily, and the stage was over. All right, now we move on to stage 3, and stage 3 was called Tank Trap, and that'll be obvious here shortly. So what you did in the starting position with your rifle ready to go, your pistol holstered, you pick up a big 20mm ammo can full of empty brass. And then you have to run up to the ladder shooting prop. From there, each rung of the ladder, you have a target 200 meters away that you have to engage. You get 2 hits, and you work your way down the ladder. Once you're done with the ladder, you then have to do a mandatory reload between the ladder and the tank trap. And at the tank trap, you engage 2 half-size IPSC targets at a 100-meter beam, a berm away from you, and you have to do it from 3 distinct different positions on the tank trap. Once you've done that, you clear your weapon, you dash forward to a pistol spinner, and spin the spinner. I mean, you know, pretty straightforward stuff. Let's take a look at my run.
You ready, guinea pig?
You can use however you want. You can have a drum if you
Stand
want.
by!
Yeah.
Hit.
2 hits?
Move on. Hit! Left. Hit! You can move while you reload.
Clear!
Not until you get there.
Yes!
Alright, so this is actually my first stage of the day, and I was the first shooter for the stage. So I got to be the guinea pig, as you so much heard the RO just call me that in the video earlier. So you pick up this 20mm ammo can full of brass, and you dash forward to the first shooting position, which with your weapon slung across front of you and holding out this awkward thing, that makes running hard. And you can see I wasn't really running, I was fast walking. Okay, moving slightly faster than a normal walk, but that's not important. And then I get up there and I have finished brutality stuck in my mind, which when you had to move things and put them down, you had to put them in very specific places or incur 60-second penalties if you didn't. So I'm like, where do I put it? Oh, here. Later on, every other shooter literally would run and just chuck it anywhere near the barricade, and that seemed to be okay. So from the barricade, had a little trouble getting the range with the first couple shots, but once I got it, I was there. Boom, 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 went through the 3 rungs, and then dashed forward. And realized when I went to do my mandatory reload, stick in the dump pouch, not there, pocket won't open, and that got inside my OODA loop because you had to retain the mag. Normally I do have a dump pouch with me, but my dump pouch is on the way out to Desert Brutality right now, so I didn't have it with me. I forgot to prep the pocket to do that. So my head's like, what do I do with this magazine, because I can't take the penalty for it, put it back in the mag pouch, get the next one out. But while I'm doing that on the run, I'm not going much faster than when I went from the starting point to the first shooting position. So I'm losing all kinds of valuable time. When I get to the tank trap, I just pick the first position I come to, engage the left target, and go to the right. And I can see a sliver of it, but then there's this big vertical post on the overhead shot barricade, and I was like, no, too tight. So I slid down, RO knew exactly why I was doing it and didn't say anything. I got the shots there. Then I distinctly moved to the middle of the barricade, 2 on each target again. And then I picked up and moved to another complete leg of the tank trap and 2 and 2. And then cleared the weapon and dashed forward all the way to the marked position for the pistol spinner. And yay, first time ever, I spun the damn spinner using a 9mm pistol. I've done it every time I've engaged one with a 40. But every time with 9mm, it's just never worked out, including as recently as a few weeks ago in Finland. Just that spinner doesn't always want to go over for me with 9mm. This time, it went over like I do it all the time. I even had a happy stick in and didn't even use half the rounds in it. So, yay, had I had a standard magazine in the pistol, probably would have been enough to get it over. So, pretty psyched about that. So, not the fastest run time, but I spun the spunner, so I'm going to call it a super awesome stage. Let's go on to stage 4. All right, we go on to the last stage, stage 4, named Rifle Spinner. Apparently the ROs or stage designers' creativity for whimsical stage names ran out here. So what did you do? From the start position, you dashed up to P1. And from the standing, you had to fire at 100 meters away, 2 half-size steel IPSC targets, get a hit on each. Then take a knee, do the exact same thing. A hit on each target, and then go prone and get a hit on each target. Then you dashed forward to position 2, or excuse me, position 3, and you did the same thing, but now you're 75 yards away from these targets. So in theory, it gets a little easier. And then finally, you go up to the tank trap, which is about 50 yards away from the spinner, and you spin it with your rifle. Hence the name of the stage, Rifle Spinner. Let's see how this worked out for me.
Shoot your tentacle fire.
I did.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Stand by!
Left.
Nope, hit. Over! 9860!
Nice.
Hell yeah. LMG tactics, I like it. Clear.
I'll tell you what, making an aim shot with that big thing swinging on the end is a challenge.
I bet you did.
You know, I was thinking about how much fun it would be to have a swinging bipod taking like standing 100-yard shots.
And then you decided against it, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's important again to point out that my rifle on this stage is an AR-15 with a 20-inch heavy barrel and an M60 bipod out on the end of it. This is not conducive to well-aimed shots when you have this big, huge bipod swinging back and forth. Just saying. So anyways, that's why the standing and kneeling shots took a little time. You notice the prone ones came really quick. So after I cleared from the first shooting position, dashed forward to the second shooting position and repeated. And while the standing came a little quicker, the kneeling took some time. Because again, this swinging bipod out there does not help with your accuracy. However, when you get to the prone, it does. And we see that when I get up to the tank trap. Because I did clarify with the ROs before shooting this one that I didn't have to shoot from the tank trap. I just had to be in contact with it. So you see I get right down on it, and then I just employ this thing like a light machine gun and just rapid trigger pulls. I was spot on and hit it with enough that it got it going in less than half a mag. That thing spun over, which was a great development. This is the first time, second time I have spun a rifle spinner. However, the first time I did it was at Desert Brutality 2018, and it literally took 3.5 magazines to do. And I'd parred out, and I just pressed on because I wanted the damn thing to go over. This time, I spun it on the clock, under par. Yay me! The other cool thing about it was I had tried this tactic just a few weeks ago in Finnish Brutality with not the same results. And the rifles did have a lot in common. Both had heavy barrels on it. Both had integral bipods. The one I used in this match was an M60 bipod out at the muzzle. The one I used in Finnish Brutality was a Black Label bipod where the bipod is integrated into it. I will say, though, they paint their targets here at Fairfax Rod and Gun Club, so they are easy to see versus at Varosteleka, Finnish Brutality, where I was firing at a spinner 50 yards away, just like this one, unpainted, against a slightly contrasting background in snowfall just after dawn. So suboptimal conditions, to say the least, but under good conditions, I know I can get it done, and my ego's boosted because of it. Super fun stage. Really gets the thing going. Military practicality here, because you're firing from basically the same basic positions they teach you in boot camp. You're advancing, which is kind of like fire team rushes, although the distance involved a little bit further than you should go in a fire team rush, and just putting out a volume of fire to achieve a result. Good stuff. This monthly match was a blast. If what you've seen here interests you, check on Practice Score for when they post the next match, and sign up and come out and have fun. We'd like to thank you for tuning into this edition of Pegasus Test. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and tune in for future videos on match coverage.